I was probably about 6, and I can't remember the actual eye test, but it would have been my first eye test. And I went straight into a -4. What I remember is collecting the glasses for the very first time. And it was in a multiple, and I remember somebody put on the glasses, and I just remember looking down and feeling so tall, just looking at the floor going, why am I so tall? And it felt quite Alice in Wonderland. It was really remarkable. I like the patient side of it. I like having patients. I like having the engaging side of it. I knew I didn't want an office job. And the other thing I knew was I wanted to move to London, and those were the things that were important to me. And I had a look, and out of the very few optometry schools in the country at the time, I was like, oh, there's one in Angel in London. Perfect. And I felt that was fate, that there was one where I wanted to live. I feel like I owe most of the credit of my skills as an optometrist to the Institute of Optometry. So I did their pre-reg programme in the evenings, and I also did a day's internship there. John Borton was actually, I would say, my main mentor. John and Carmelo Castaglione. Bruce Evans I did some research with. Bruce, I always feel like optics is a massive mix of people, like of different personality types. You have some of the worst people in the world, but you also have some of the nicest, kindest people. And Bruce is in that category for me. He, amongst many others, is one of the nicest people I think anyone could have the pleasure to meet. Quite early on, I knew that I wanted to find out the breadth of optometry and see what you could do. And I think for many people, optometry is just the clinical side in the test room, and that is right for a lot of people. But I think I really wanted to know what the breadth was, so that I could see what was right for me. I stayed at the Institute one day a week, and then I moved over to an independent practice as a resident there, and I was there for about 6 or 7 years, and that was really joyful. It was like a little family practice, kind of loads and loads of kids. I love seeing kids. I love how for most routine eye exams there are kind of limits to what behaviours you can exhibit, and I love with kids how all of those limits are thrown out the window, and you just get to do whatever it takes to get that information you need, in terms of, like, if it means your child's getting slightly sleepy and you're like, okay, let's do some star jumps, so we'll wake them up a little bit, that sort of thing. You can't do that. You can't get away with that with an adult. They won't do star jumps for you. Whereas children, it's so easy to excite them. I feel like we lose that with adulthood. You lose that ability to see every single thing as a game. A friend of mine lives on this road, and she said, oh, there's a place on the corner opening up, and I kind of walked by whilst they were still setting up. So they had the office, but the retail wasn't open. I just knocked on the door, came in with a business card and just said hi. It had just happened to be Tom who opened the door, and he's a really interesting chap. He's so excitable. Like, I just remember slightly getting an insight into the inner workings of his mind, which was utterly chaotic. So he was showing me one thing, and then he'd pick up something else and show me the next. And I remember within the space of about 3 minutes having a conversation about 17 different things, and it was really exciting. It was really nice to witness that passion, and it was evident that it was going to be a beautifully designed shop. It just felt like it was going to be exciting. So I did a few days locuming here, and then very quickly we decided that I would be employed. At the moment I do 2 days testing and 2 days management a week, which is a nice spread. I feel like every optometrist has their limit to what they can do clinically while still staying present with each patient. And I've seen, and even the AOP study recently of quality of life of optometrists, it did highlight that the commercial pressures for optometrists are really high, and I think it's a really important thing for every optometrist to realise how many days can you work and still be true to each patient. And if you push past that, and I have done it, I've pushed past it, just tried to help out a little bit more, and realised that I am not a good optometrist if I do more than X days per week.